All right, Shalom. First off, I want to start up by saying all praises, honor, and glory is due unto Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Karkadash. This all praises to the world calls God, whose true name in the Hebrew is Yahweh, by Hashem meaning in the name, and Yahushai being the name of the only begotten Son. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. Peace and mercy to the hopeful light, preaching sword and truth and sincerity. On the brother Tazabah, the Great Millstone, Arizona camp. Lord will with another video to edify. All right, this is fair use disclaimer. This is not medical advice. I'm going to let you know that now. Go see your doctor, your bitch-ass doctor if you want medical advice. But copyright disclaimer under Title 17 U.S.C. Section 107, allowance is made for fair use for the purpose such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. Fair use tip is permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing. Nonprofit, educational, or personal use tips the balance in favor of fair use. You know, that being said, that out the way, I did a lesson the other day going into, let me go to it, man. Did a lesson the other day going into the new White House memorandum that was passed on December 19th, 2025, going into the 6G, right? Winning the 6G race, right? And how they had plans that they need to know within 12 months from the date of the memorandum what needs to be moved around so everything's running at full power, essentially. And what money they would need to get it running at full power. And I came across this video after and just connected it, right? Because it's all about frequency, right? So I'm going to play this, Lord will. This isn't medical advice. This is some stuff for you to look at and go, right? Nothing more.
When we were scanning prior to the COVID event, we were pulling out biosensors or non-consensual implants out of individuals, and those are the lucky ones. After COVID, there was a increasing symptomatic individuals coming to us asking for help. And typically prior to COVID, we were finding 8 to 10 on the high side areas that were lighting up at specific focal points around the human body. After COVID, the average now is between 12 and 13 on minimum. So that one's just about 100% hit. Our hypothesis is that whatever was in those jabs or the hydrogel and the PCR testing or in the anesthetics, which all the studies are showing, there's this nanotech in it. How do you get rid of something that's 50 nanometers in size? We are now testing the general population, and they are turning up positive in the same exact locations as the symptomatic individuals. And so our belief right now is, going with the data, that the symptomatic individuals are turned on, and the non-symptomatics have not been turned on yet. And we have articles and information that has been fed to us that this is all frequency based, and we know it's frequency based because we're detecting the frequencies, particularly RF, that when the 6G comes into fruition, that the majority of the population will be turned back on.
You see? So it's things that make you go, right? And this is why our elders and apostles told us not to take it. But you got people like the great commanding general Yohana and Bishop Nathaniel of the IUIC, you know, the equestrian himself, that sat there and told his congregation to get these things, and now they're hastening the plan to bring 6G online in full force. So there ain't no telling what's going to happen with that. Right? Everybody's been in a dormant status for a long time because they told you this one they didn't take serious, right? Lil Bill of the It started off with Macintosh computers that later turned into Apple. But Lil Bill, um, he sat there and told you straight up. They didn't take this one serious. The next one they will, because they're going to control how serious it gets. And this is why you got medical prices going through the roof. They're changing how much medical insurance costs for people, so the average person can't afford it, because they're going to put the squeeze on the people so hard, and people are going to get sick with the pestilence, because at the end of the day, this is all the Lord's hand, man. Because it says it right here, Isaiah 45:7. It says, I form the light and create darkness. I make peace and create evil. I, Yahweh, do all these things. And the Lord also said what? This is Deuteronomy 32:39. See now that I, even I, am He, and there is no God with me. I kill and I make alive. I wound and I heal, and there is none. It's like in there. It says, neither is there any that can deliver out of mine hand. You see, there's nobody that can deliver out of the Lord's hand. The Lord made wounds and He heals. So even though this devil is the one in control of this technology, it's just the Lord controlling this devil to bring the pestilence upon the people. Because when the Lord set up prophets to let you know about these things, people refused. And now there's a system spiraling towards everybody that's going to put you right in the mix. And then you got this video, and this lets you understand this is nothing more than a big ass sacrifice that's getting ready to happen.
The greatest lie humanity tells itself is that we have outgrown human sacrifice. We call it by different names now and make our offering to different gods. We offer young men we call soldiers, as if the designation means that their mothers cry less when they die. We call masses of humanity collateral damage and turn our eyes away from the pictures of their lifeless bodies as we sip our morning coffee. And the truth is, we don't do it because we are heartless. We do it because we believe that it is necessary for the world to keep running. We do it because we believe that the gods whose favor we so desperately seek, freedom, security, prosperity, flourishing, that they demand blood as the price of their favor. We do it because we cannot see any other choice, that some need to die for the world to flourish.
You see? And they're doing just that. These are the wicked that prosper in the world, like the scriptures say. Right? He is estranged from the womb, and he's put this stuff in the world. And you had men that called themselves teachers and leaders of Israel that told you to go ahead and get it. You got to eat, don't you? It's part of your job, right? Sometimes when you travel, don't you got to get the inoculations, the smallpox vaccine? Well, this wasn't none of that, man. This was a whole new thing. It was a whole new thing that didn't follow the same course. I'm not going to get into it because they'll take this shit down fast as hell. But you can look and search deep for it and see the negatives on it yourself. But at the end of the day, we got this, man. Let's get into these scriptures. At the end of the day, that pestilence is coming. These things are prophesied in the scriptures. Whether or not you believe it or not, the pestilence is coming and the Lord is going to turn this thing on. Esau is getting ready to turn the people on. Ezekiel 7:5, it says, you know what? I'll start at 4. It says, and my eye shall not spare thee, neither will I have pity, but I will recompense thy ways upon thee, and thine abominations shall be in the midst of thee. It says, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh. And this is what's happening. The Lord is about to recompense everybody's ways. All the shit talking about to stop. People have been dogging out the Israelites starting starting with the elect for a long time now, man. And now you got niggas selling out, talking shit, bumping their gums, calling bros bums, all this stuff, man, for a long time. And bros have been diligently pushing the word of the Lord in silence and just trying to be on point with this. Right? It says, verse 5, it says, thus say Yahweh, thus say Yahweh power and evil, and only evil, behold, is come, the end is come, the end is coming. Watch it for thee, behold, the end is coming. And pestilence is part of the end. All right? Jeremiah, what is it? Isaiah 28? Jeremiah 28, I think it is. Jeremiah 28. And 8, it says, the prophets that have been before me and before thee of old prophesied both against many countries and of great kingdoms, of war and of evil and of pestilence. You see, this is what the prophets spoke of before: war, evil, and pestilence. And now we're in the time of war. We're in the time where pestilence is coming up, right? And we're in the time of great evil. When you got apostates popping up left and right, you know damn well you're in a time of great evil. Proverbs 12 and 10, it says, a righteous man regarded the life of his beast, but the tender mercies of the wicked are cruel. And that's what that jab was. It was a mercy of the wicked, a tender mercy of the wicked. And people thought they were good. And then time go by. You had the niggas getting the Harlem Shake. Niggas were still going to get it. People collapsing on the news. Niggas still went out and got it. And people that called themselves teachers saw the shit that was going on in the news and still sent the congregation out there to get it. You niggas didn't care. You bunch of fucking hirelings. Sirach 12 and 10 is Sirach 12 and 10, yeah. It says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. And this was the proclamation when that stuff was going hardcore, 2020 and on. Don't trust your enemy. Trust in the Lord. It's the scriptures tell you that the plague shall not come near the righteous dwelling. If you were living righteous, why would you be so worried that you got to get a jab in your arm of some shit that they had never produced in the world before? And the cold part about it is they told you we kind of sped this up. Normal time range for this stuff is like 10 years, and we did this within a couple months. They told you straight up that this wasn't right. It says, though he humble himself and go crouching, and this was a humbling thing. We care about the people we don't want to see. And grandma, remember they said Big Mama? They sent the nigga on the news, said Big Mama. You know, you don't want to see Big Mama go through nothing. That was them going crouching. Though he humble himself and go crouching, take good heed and beware of him. Right? And thou should be unto him as if thou hadst wiped a looking glass, and thou shalt know that his rust had not been altogether wiped away. But bros foresaw this evil. Bros foresaw it. Bros were talking about how this stuff was going to be activated by some type of frequency. Bros were saying it in the beginning. And now more and more information is coming out where, hey, it could be. This ain't medical information by any means. But, inquiring minds and information just keeps coming out. And it's where we at. Ezekiel 7 and 14, it says, they have blown the trumpet even to make all ready, but none go to the battle, for my wrath is upon all the multitude thereof. The sword is without, and the pestilence and famine within. He that is in the field shall die with the sword, because they're going to lock these cities down. And he that is in the city, famine and pestilence shall devour him. You saw bits and pieces of how famine and pestilence was taking out them people in Gaza when they was locking down the motherfucker. They didn't let food come in, right? They were bombing them to smithereens as they told them, evacuate to this area. As soon as they got there, they bombed them. Certain times they said they were going to give them peace, and then they bombed them. But pestilence is going to grow. We're going to see how extreme this gets, man. Amos 4 and 10. It says, I have sent among you pestilence after the manner of Egypt. Your young men have I slain with the sword, and ye have, it says, and have taken away your horses, and I have made the stink of your camps to come up unto your nostrils. Why was the stink of the camps coming up? Because niggas was dying. Yet have ye not returned unto me, said Yahweh. And we still see this to this day. Now Bishop Nathaniel is doubling down on saying the name of the Lord in the Hebrew is crap. That's what he said. I was watching that video this morning, man. I have sworn some of you, I have overthrown some of you as the Most High overthrows Sodom and Gomorrah, and ye were as a firebrand plucked out of the burning, and yet have you not returned unto me, said Yahweh. And niggas still ain't repenting. Niggas are still not repenting. They catching hell and they still not repenting. It's like the scriptures say, they turn not to him and smited them. This is the Lord's doing at the end of the day. Therefore, thus will I do unto thee, O Israel, because I will do this unto thee. Prepare to meet thy power, O Israel. Prepare to meet your God. Prepare to meet the Heavenly Father, man, because he's going to take you right back up to him. Jake hadn't taken the warning serious enough, and now things are going to get drastic. Isaiah 15, or Salaki, not Isaiah, Jeremiah 15, and 1, it says, Then said Yahweh unto me, though Moses and Samuel stood before me, yet my mind could not be towards this people. Cast them out of my sight, and let them go forth, and it shall come to pass, if they say unto thee, whither shall we go? Because you can see Jake's demeanor now, man. Jake is getting more violent towards bros, man. They really want to do physical shit. Right? But when the judgment starts going out, they're going to ask, where are we supposed to go? What are we supposed to do? Then thou shalt tell them, thus say Yahweh, such is for death to the death, such is for the sword to the sword, and such is for the famine to the famine, and such is for the captivity to captivity. The Lord is just going to feed you over to whatever judgment he has prepared. Because niggas have not repented, and this stuff is getting wicked out here, man. But you saw it, man. So, Lord willing, this stuff speeds up. Shalom.